Call the regular council meeting for October 13th. Greg?
Yeah.
Mike?
Yep.
Pam?
Yep.
Deb? Ted here. Motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second it.
Favor? Craig?
Yeah.
Mike? Pam?
Yep.
Devin? Ted, yes. Of the deputy sheriff's report.
For the month of September
Come up there
2025.
a little closer so we can hear you, please.
Yeah. Right next to you.
No, it don't. Don't make me nervous.
For the month of September 2025, a total of 15 documented business checks, 34 miscellaneous patrol sessions, 2 bar checks, 1 park check, 1 council meeting, 1 case follow-up, 1 sex offender registry check, a total of 4 calls for service, 1 accident, property damage, non-reportable information exchanged, 1 animal welfare check, the dog appeared healthy and energetic, 1 trespass warning was given, and 1 public contact. Subjects wanted the deputy where he was out for a drive.
What is that?
I don't know.
Okay.
Any questions, comments, concerns?
I don't have any.
No.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Good night.
We'll have our nuisance officer report.
I'm just gonna step up because it's easier to do. And I don't know what Meredith sent you, but I'm just gonna throw, Meredith and I talked, we're up yesterday, so I told her I'd put her on speaker so she could hear what we were talking about. Hey, you're with the city council and me in Liscomb.
Hi.
So they were asking about a report or kind of where we're at in the world. Do you wanna cover that or debrief that?
Well, did you tell me we were there yesterday?
I didn't say anything. I literally, they called me up and I called you and we're here.
No. Okay. Well, I don't have my notes right in front of me, so just got back from the grocery store. I'm trying to think how many we did yesterday.
Prior to yesterday, what we have, was there 28 or 38 that we had done the previous month?
Oh, that's a good question. Somewhere in between there, and then we'd also, prior to yesterday, we also personally served 5 people. And then yesterday, served some more people.
So the primary focus, has been junk vehicles. We've gotten to a point now where the next time somebody gets a notice, like we've given them the number for Larry Critchfield, and Larry will come pick up the cars and give them a couple $100 for them, and people have seemed to appreciate that. Some have been less cooperative. So in order to remove them, you're gonna have to have a judge sign off. So that'll be a municipal infraction through the court. And then you guys have to decide, right? The low-hanging fruit's the easy part. I mean, when Meredith and I drove around town yesterday, we drove around and we're like, there used to be a refrigerator on that deck. Now there's not. There used to be tall grass over here. Now there's not.
And there were a few junk vehicles that are also gone, or they've registered them, aired up the tires, and they've visibly moved.
So, from what we've seen progress. We've seen the list go down. We've added some new things to the list. What Meredith and I are kind of trying to figure out is what the council and what Liscomb wants. Because I had somebody tell me yesterday, well, I was told that I could have tires as long as they were neatly stacked. Well, that was news to us, and that's not how we enforce things in either one of our communities. And the problem with tires is water collects, mosquitoes, that's why we're, and,
Did they say who told them this?
well, yes.
So you know who told them this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and so it's really, the concern Meredith and I have is this, like, technically we work for you. you kind of set the standard, but the problem is if one council member says you can have tires, another one says you can't have tires, and the ordinance says you can't have tires, it's kind of like the speed limit, right? We have some discretion on what we enforce, but we need to be consistent. And thus far, we've been consistent with saying, if you have tires stored outside your house, we're giving you a notice. And as I told the people I talked to yesterday, because I'm a big fan of, and our contract says that if we can serve them personally, we will. I've knocked on doors, I talked to people outside yesterday, and a couple of them shared with me, they're like, well, I'm working on getting my garage cleaned out, and then we're gonna move them inside. I said, great, no problem. But when we come back in a month, I'm probably gonna give you another notice, because at some point, words need to have action. But I also understand people have lives, people have kids' activities, people have work, and quite honestly, people are tired, right? I mean, we all have things to do. We have gotten a few emails with some choice words. There have definitely been some residents who, kick your ass in my yard and called me things that reflect female genitalia and things like that. But when I drove by their house yesterday, it was done. So, but what's different for Meredith and I is this, right? She does Albion and Knoxville and helps me in State Center, and I do State Center and I come up here. We haven't experienced this kind of unhappy feedback ever. I mean, I think,
Do you mean from us? Or do you
No,
mean
no,
from the-
out of the
from the community. You definitely have some outspoken folks who do not want to be told what to do with their
That's
property.
because it's been let go for so long that.
So, so honestly, Meredith and I were having a conversation like, is the council happy? Is this,
Starting to get quite a few cars and fire truck and a junk car up by my place, one over.
they moved the fire truck
They're all
yesterday
gone.
when Meredith
Yep.
and I were here.
They're all gone.
So,
Some other things have been taken care of.
So-
And I want to talk to you about, I had one gentleman call me, and my husband answered the phone, and it wasn't pretty. And I called him back, got him calmed down, didn't understand that there are such a thing as ordinances in town. I
yeah,
said, yeah, those are our laws. I said, now when can you take care of this? Give me until next Sunday at 5:30. I'll have it moved, I'll have it fixed. Perfect. Now, how do I let you know that I said that was okay? I mean, is it okay that I said it?
absolutely. So Meredith and I definitely, Meredith's probably a little harder in Knoxville where she does this 40 hours a week. But in State Center, I tell everybody, I don't want your money, I want your compliance. Did you have something to add, Meredith?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I would prefer if people, email me on, the email address that's listed at the bottom. Because it does get hard to track, if I'm in the car and someone calls and says, oh, I gave so-and-so permission to do this.
When's trick or treat
That's
for
more
Liscomb?
difficult for me, but if I have it, they've emailed me.
I'll text
And I
it to
have
you.
it in
Text
writing.
it. Perfect.
And I can look at it when I'm in front of a computer, that's what I prefer,
Well,
is for them to.
Even if somebody talks to you, if you email Meredith and say, hey, I talked to John Thomas, yeah. Oh, easy.
This guy is telling me what this, he said, you know what this is?
You called me and I called Meredith the next day.
Yes. Yep.
That was one of the ones that's all removed,
Yep.
taken care of.
Meredith's email is Meredith, MEREDITH, at Iowa, all spelled out, Rice, just like RICE.com. Rural Iowa Code Enforcement, so it's iowarice.com.
Okay, okay.
So,
That's good to know, so, yeah, if we're telling, because they're gonna call us up, we're gonna hear it. Well, I don't know if anybody else has heard one.
well,
I'm glad he did.
I had a few choice words spoken to me yesterday, and I'm like, listen, they're like, well, I don't like the notice, it sounds like, honestly, they said, it sounds like you're being an asshole. I'm like, well, it's not my fault the law's phrased in such a way, but the bottom line of it is, that's why I like the personal contact, if we can talk to people. And I tell everybody this, what we're trying to enforce is a community standard. Because if Ted's house looks great and I decide to put 19 cars in my driveway with 300 tires, the value of Ted's house just took a dump. And the goal is to set a standard. And that standard is the community standard. So I guess that's my question to the council, because honestly, given some of the angry feedback we have had, and I'm just here to tell you, like, it's not realistic. I didn't sign up to come to every council meeting, but I'm fine to come to, a couple and get some feedback. What I'll tell you is this: now that you've started to apply pressure, and now that you've started to gain compliance, if you don't continue to apply pressure, you will lose compliance. So whether at the end of this, the city council decides that you want to do it yourselves or have somebody else do it, or whether you want Meredith and I to do it next year, I mean, honestly, Meredith and I had the conversation whether or not do we even want to do the spring in the second half, right? We've been paid $1,500 for the first half. We've done more than $1,500 worth of work, but do we even do the second half? Or if the city council and the community's that unhappy, we won't do it. I mean, so we're looking for some feedback from you folks about, are you happy? Are you not happy? Do you think it's been worthwhile? Or what would you like from us?
Well, I'm pretty happy with what's going on, but not so happy when you were down at the state fair and we were trying to get a hold of you, and you never contacted us back, they left a lot of messages. That was the part and then we got Meredith involved.
Yeah, well, no,
And-
Meredith works for me.
Yeah,
I mean,
I know.
that's
Yeah.
what it comes down to. But the bottom line of it is, this is a day a month. This is the expectation that we'll do inspections once a month and so forth. Now, I can tell you, because I showed Meredith, people weren't blowing up my email or my phone. I did have a couple missed calls from Danette, but, should I have been a better communicator? Absolutely. Am I allowed to go on vacation for 2 weeks? Yes. I fulfilled my obligation for the month of August when we did inspections, but I will agree that at the end of the day, I was working 12-hour days and had a lot on my plate, and I took time off from State Center, and I literally lived at the fair for 2 weeks. So I apologize for the poor communication. But I think at the end of the day, when I took this on, the idea was Meredith and I were gonna do this together. It was to help Meredith launch her business, which she has done since, and now she's doing Albion through her business and not mine. And if you guys were to have a discussion with Meredith about next year, your contract will be with Meredith and not with me. I literally came up here, again, trying to help another community in Marshall County, and, but yeah, so.
It's just when we have questions, if we have just like when Pam got a call, we'd like to know for sure.
Well, and I didn't know
What's
there
all
was an
going
email.
on.
Yeah.
Other than that, yes, I think, I'm happy with some of the work, most of the work that's getting done, and I, for one, would like you to continue.
On a non-personal level,
Yep.
I really think we deserve reports every month, though. I understand you not being able to come up here every month, totally get that, but I definitely think a spreadsheet is a pretty reasonable expectation
So let's talk
on
about
what's being done.
So let's talk
Because otherwise, we have no clue. Unless Danette knows all the communication, you communicate everything you do with her, which I wouldn't know. I definitely feel like that's a reasonable expectation.
I agree you deserve a report. Now, Meredith and I have talked about this because even in State Center and Knoxville and Albion, we don't release the spreadsheet. Then it kind of turns into shaming your neighbor, and it's a public document, which Meredith and I are not a fan of unless you changed your mind on that, Meredith.
So this did recently come up in Albion. I actually did have a council member at a meeting ask to see my notes on the property because I had been there that day. And he took pictures of my notes and then dispersed it to a few chosen people in the community. That got back to the mayor, who contacted me, and we discussed it. We decided going forward, they do not want a spreadsheet
animosity,
people- Yes.
embarrassment,
Yes.
I mean, honestly.
Yes. So Albion has requested that I not release the properties to them. They just simply ask, so it's literally been a quick email. I say, this is how many properties were inspected. This person was personally served. This is the next step with that property. But as far as every single property I go to, they do not want that information for the reason of it just creates issues, and they're like, we've hired you to do it, so we don't have to be involved. And when people come to them with questions or complaints, they say, please email her at this email address, and then I work with them directly.
So I don't have any problem, Devin, giving you a report. I just think giving you the spreadsheet of every property we're working on isn't great for those that we're
Well,
working
my
with.
only problem,
Go on.
No, sorry.
my only problem is when they call us,
Uh-huh.
you know, like with him, you know what this letter says. I have no idea what this letter says. You know, tell me what this letter says. Well, you're gonna charge me $750. I said, why are we gonna charge you that? Well, this and this, and we've got this done, but I still gotta do this, okay? When can you do it? You know?
They just need to, so they need to, again, coordinate back to, they either need to email Meredith or, not to put on your city clerk or somebody else, but then those details need to come back to Meredith and I. Because Meredith and I see it together, we do Liscomb together, and so, and we can update the spreadsheet. Because honestly, if we know somebody says, listen, my mother's in hospice, my brother will be here in a week, I'll address it when I'm not with my mom. Completely understand. Then, just like I stopped and saw a guy yesterday and he goes, John, I will call Critchfield on Monday. I don't need to give you a piece of paper today then if you're calling Critchfield on Monday. And I talked to him 2 weeks ago. So
they're removed now?
the car was there today, but I actually thought I might stop when I drove by. Now, just because he called Larry today didn't mean Larry came and got it today.
No, I didn't.
But
So
no, there's a couple.
That's today.
There's 3 vehicles that I am tired of looking at, specifically 2 vans and a truck that have been there for extended periods of time. It's time that they go.
So how do we tell our residents, well, they come in and they say, okay, what's the nuisance officer been doing this month?
We'll give you a report. I mean,
So
And that's
you're,
all we're asking for, like, we get a report from our water, wastewater, and this is how much
Yeah.
water went through.
We don't mind
We
telling-
just-
based with,
I've got nothing to hide from you. If you guys say we want a spreadsheet, that's fine. You'll get a spreadsheet, but I think it's a horrible idea. But I'm fine telling you, we did 28 inspections, and then we followed back up on 16 properties from last month. 5 were improved, 4 in the works, and 10 are being uncooperative.
I think
That's,
I mean,
that's
and then they
good.
would know that something is being done.
Yeah, and we don't mind
I-
telling you what day we're here. I mean, typically for Meredith and I, it's a Saturday or Sunday because she has a day job and, you know, people are home on the weekend, so we can actually knock on the door depending on when the football game is or where the kid has a band concert at. But
I think that's good.
So when you give a
Anybody
notice,
disagree?
your emails are at the bottom of that, so the resident can email you back.
yep, the email is on the bottom of every notice.
And
So our answer to them would be call the nuisance, or email the nuisance officer
Yep.
with your
Or
problem.
if they don't have email, what do you want me to tell the nuisance officer? I mean, I could email them if need.
If they ask you to
Yes.
send an email.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's
it's
fine.
preferred one, either way, if they don't have an email and you can email it, that way we have stuff in writing.
Yep.
Because it gets very difficult to track things if it's, you know, voicemail here, voicemail there, and then if I'm not sitting in front of my computer, it gets difficult and things get lost in translation. So, yeah, one way or another, and it's also a track record, so if we have a property that we end up going to court on, and we have communication from them in writing, that's something that can be submitted in evidence to a judge, where if it's just a phone call, and it's not from them, and it's kind of passed like a game of telephone, that's a lot harder in court.
law enforcement can operate on it if it's not written down, it didn't happen, which is why we write
Totally.
everything up. Anything else?
Does everybody agree that what he can give us is good enough? Anybody not agree?
I'm satisfied, we're getting progress.
Kevin?
I don't see what, okay, so why does, if you give us a spreadsheet, why is that something that we have to pass out? Is that not something you can have and we can
If it
look
was,
at
if
it?
it was
I mean, if
given,
somebody.
If we share it to her, it's a public document.
Yeah.
Once we give it to the city, it's a public document. Anybody can walk in and say, here's your freedom of information request, and I will.
Kind of like a HIPAA violation.
Yeah.
So,
I'd rather see a spreadsheet, but I understand what you're saying.
yeah. All right. Well, we will get you a report for next month, and we'll see how the progress continues. All right.
Well,
Go ahead.
On a personal level.
Yep.
I would like to hear in person, I'm taking this, I guess, that's a resident concern at this point. Why can you not enforce smell?
How are you gonna measure it?
No.
No,
I'm asking
don't,
you,
don't
though.
tell me no. I asked you, how you gonna measure it? I was at the house
So
yesterday.
I'm asking though for definitions though, because if I read definitions, I feel like it violates those.
I would agree by the definition, it does violate it. When I was there this summer, and I think the cooler weather is helping with the odor, is my guess.
No.
Well, I was there yesterday and personally put a note on his door, and I didn't feel like I was gonna
Glad you were
throw
there on
up.
a good day.
But the problem is, and I guess this is a question for the attorney, we are not attorneys, is how are you gonna measure the smell? Like, what's offensive to you versus what's offensive to me, versus what's offensive to them? It's an immeasurable.
You know it's offensive though, but.
Well, for an example, we have a Jake break ordinance in State Center, but I can't enforce the
Yes.
Jake break ordinance without purchasing a decibel meter, because even though I know the truck's driving down Third Avenue and I hear the Jake break, I have to have a way to measure it, the court has told me. So I don't,
So what's the point of having those ordinances then?
well, it's a singular ordinance relating to odor, and
Yes.
that's an attorney question. I can tell you, if I could figure out a way to enforce the odor, I would have been happy to 3 months ago when we started giving the resident notices about the odor. One of the other, but on that note, one of the things that Meredith and I guess I didn't go into it, but it's relative, is like the scope of work that we believe we are hired to do is nuisance abatement. But we've kind of keep getting pulled into things which are outside that scope. Now, the issue you're talking about is absolutely within our scope, but there's a house in town with no water and plumbing. That's not really a John and Meredith issue, that's a public health issue and an attorney issue. I don't know the answer, and like I said, Meredith is in the Code Enforcement Association. Hey, Meredith, would you actually ask anybody, would you put an email out and ask them how anybody enforces the odor ordinance? Because we can't be the only ones with it.
Right, we can definitely, yeah, I can put the information out and ask. What's frustrating about it is I feel like it's coming from inside the home, and I know that smell because that happens to me in Knoxville. I walk up to a home to contact the homeowner, leave something, and I can smell the inside of their house, and it's awful, and I don't know how people live in it, but they do. And then we get into ordinances where it's like we talk about offensive smells, and it's like, okay, this person's burning their garbage, creating an offensive smell. There's a fire in the backyard and we can see garbage burning. It's a very tangible, we can take pictures of it, we can prove it, call the fire department, all these things. I'm struggling with the Peak property because I don't have anything tangible. Like we knew it smelled when we went there in the summer, but I can't see anything from public view that's creating it, like him burning garbage or
There's a
garbage
pile of
sitting
dog
out
crap
that
inside
hasn't
the
been
door,
picked up.
I looked yesterday, it looks like the side door's overgrown, so it looks like these are the front door, so I left the notice on the front door. We did give them a notice for the lawn, because the lawn in the back needs to get mowed. I noticed when I drove by earlier before the meeting, there's a handicap sticker in his van, so I don't know if he's handicapped or not. That was one of the things that came up yesterday, and I don't know, I think we're happy to have a conversation about how we do it, but one of the people I talked to yesterday said, why don't we have a Liscomb cleanup day where we go help our neighbor to where the town looks better for everybody? I'm like, that's not a bad idea. I mean, that's not what we're here for. We're here to identify the problem, not the solution, but, you know, when you do have a handicapped person who can't remedy the solution, what is the resource? What is the offer?
I mow lawns for very cheap.
They're not both handicapped, are they?
They're not handicapped, but it doesn't
But
matter.
I'm just saying, from an odor standpoint, it's a measurement, it's a calibration. It's, what's the,
So what would have been the expectation then when the city attorney sent the letter? Why would he have sent the letter if he deemed that that couldn't be enforced by a nuisance officer, which was not at the time, but is you now? So why would that letter have been sent?
that's a great question. I mean,
So if he, but if he,
And without,
I get
without,
that,
like,
and
I
I think-
haven't seen the letter, so I haven't been able to read it. I don't know what language he used. So that obviously, you know, this is kind of, you know, I feel like I'm walking into it a little blind because I don't know what his letter says. So that could obviously give us some insight. And then, you know, if he sent the letter, you know, and he thinks that it is enforceable, then we need to continue in his process.
he's the one that's gonna take it to court anyway. I mean, he will be the one that has to prosecute it in court, just like our city attorneys and our other communities have to. If he thinks there's a mechanism to enforce it, that would be the first time I've seen it. Like I said, we'll put an well, we won't, Meredith will. We'll put an email out to the other code enforcement officers and be like, how do you enforce it? But
Do we have a copy of that letter that he sent them?
I do.
Or I can get one from.
Right here.
So didn't we have him write a letter, just like we had John knock on his door and tell him it smells bad? I mean,
Did we
was
get-
it,
Did we get a copy
it
of the
wouldn't be
letter?
any, I don't think it'd be any different than that.
I was
Because
gonna say that's it. I think all he got was a letter that said, hey, your house smells,
It's
fix
just-
it. It wasn't something that said, hey, your house smells, now appear in court.
it's kind of like, before we had nuisance officers, you send out letters for vehicles. And then we'd send out letters for vehicles. And then we'd send out more letters for vehicles.
So,
And we never done nothing. Well, now we're getting, I know of several of them right now that's been removed, so we're getting somewhere that way.
Yeah.
Hey Meredith, I got the letter. I'll send you a picture and we can talk about it. And then honestly, we'll give you a response to it. I mean, we'll give you an answer to what the letter says and what we think, but,
This attorney is
no,
completely retired
yeah.
now.
still
so-
practice though, right?
So,
So that, did I hear that, right, that the attorney that sent the letter is no longer working?
correct.
It's the same practice.
But it's-
The
it's-
practice is still there, this attorney's just no longer working for them.
Okay, but you still have the same practice?
Yes.
Okay.
And Meredith, the letter is literally nothing more than a note that says they're in violation of the ordinance. You are hereby directed to abate the nuisance from the property by removing all trash, garbage, and other substances and materials which create or cause a nuisance, and refrain from maintaining or allowing additional trash, garbage, or other material on the property which create or continue the nuisance. In the event you fail to abate or cause to be abated the nuisance described above by April 30th, the city will file a municipal infraction as provided by the city of Liscomb. So the question is, did the attorney follow through 4 months ago before you hired us and do the municipal infraction?
Didn't they have it cleaned up then, 4 months ago?
No. Because when,
I'm not
Well-
gonna get into this right now.
But how do you
Nothing has
measure
changed.
cleaned up?
Because-
Well,
well,
Besides the trash bags from the site, everything changed, but I don't give a crap about what it looks like.
when Meredith and I started, right, which would have been May, June, in there, I mean, the first time I went to the house, I literally came, it was bad.
Yeah, I watched you.
Yeah, it
You
was,
stood at that door for about 7 seconds.
yeah. I put the notice on the door, and I just about lost my cookies on the porch. So,
But you made it sound like when you started that you'd be able to handle it. And I understand it's a difficult situation.
I mean, I can handle to the point of where it's enforceable to the attorney, right? Like, okay, you have a problem house. We've given them continuous notices. Now, at the point that they're non-compliant, it goes into the hands of the attorney. So,
And can we do anything about what it's inside? I think, weren't we told that we can't tell them how to live? Wasn't that something?
yeah, but
that's-
when the odor, yeah, go ahead, Meredith.
If the odor is coming from inside the home, don't have authority to just, to go into somebody's home. Like that, so, we talk about curtilage, we have to be, we can be in the street, we can be on the sidewalk, or we can go straight to their, front door. So that's why if there's stuff around the backside of the property that's creating the smell, we've gotta have, documentation.
If there's not an alley, we can't go behind the house.
Right, because of, they're protected by the Fourth Amendment.
So why
And
don't,
their home, and inside their home is protected by the Fourth Amendment.
so why don't,
We do not have any legal authority to say, you have to let me in, I wanna, we wanna see
Right.
where the smell is coming from. That's not, that we can do.
so why don't, like, I can send an email tomorrow to the attorney and I'll CC the city clerk on it, asking where are you at on this and how do you propose to enforce it? Because we've given him enough notices and can show we've given him enough notices that, again, kind of like some of these stubborn folks with their cars, like, it's time for the city attorney to do some municipal infractions.
So I agree with all that.
Okay?
So you said you've taken people to court. How do you take them to court when you're saying that the attorney should be?
Same way, like, literally,
But you said you took them to court. Did I misunderstand that?
yeah, when I say I've taken people to court in state center, I literally call my city attorney and say, here's the 5 notices I gave them, filed a municipal infraction, and we take them to court. Yep.
Just confused.
Nope. Sorry, I don't mind the clarification, but I'm just saying, like, I draw the line over, I can only give you so many times to, move the gray truck with flat tires that's been there for 5 years before it's time for the gray truck with flat tires to go. But yesterday, it was awesome. Meredith and I pulled up in front of the house, and the guy literally pulls up and backs in with the trailer and a truck, and he's like, I know, I'm a scrapper, I got some work to do, I promise you, we're working on it. Perfect, then I don't need to give you another notice, because we're making progress, so.
Well, and maybe there's something we need to put in the letter that goes out with the water bill, something to the effect that we do have a nuisance officer.
She did that already.
Okay.
Maybe, honestly, like when you had your community cleanup day, maybe what we need to put out is, have a scrap vehicle, need to get rid of it, call, and
Oh, yeah.
And maybe we set up a time for people to bring their scrap metal somewhere. We work again with Larry, or we work somewhere
We've
with,
got a couple guys that do scrap metals.
yeah.
There's a place for the scrap
There's
metal there.
places in town for scrap metal.
Yep, so maybe we need to do that again one more time, because soon we're gonna have snow, and then nuisance abatement kind of falls off until spring,
Yeah.
so.
One more question.
Sure.
Because I was talking to a resident and they asked me to ask you.
Sure.
So I'm just passing this on. Somebody in town, I'm sure you're gonna know who, got a letter for stacked tires.
Yep.
Next to their house and garage.
Yep, I talked to him yesterday.
Okay. Then, of course, and I seen it myself, because I went and looked, because I got asked to. Somebody else did not get a letter for them stacked next to their shed. What's the difference?
Well, the
Did
question,
you talk to the one person?
I did talk to the one person yesterday. Now, the person who did or did not get the letter for it being stacked in their shed, the question is, were they home? Was there a notice put in their door? I mean, I don't know, he did not tell me who the other person was. so-
I know who it is, and he said he talked to him, but that's,
No,
I just wondered the.
yeah, but I'm just trying to answer.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, if we knock on the door and nobody answers, I literally will try and slide the piece of paper between the door jamb or stick it between the 2 doors. So, can I sit here and tell you whether or not that, if you give me an address, I can tell you if and when we ever addressed it, or if we did, or if we overlooked it.
Yeah, and if we overlooked it, like honest mistake, because we are absolutely about enforcing it equally with everybody. So yeah, if it's something we overlooked and somebody else says, hey, what about this property? And that information gets to us, then we can then look into it, and be fair and give them a notice as well. So I definitely don't want people to think that, we're enforcing with a bias or.
That's what they thought,
Or-
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely are not doing that, so.
And that's not uncommon. That happens at State Center. I'll give somebody a tall grass notice. I'm like, what about that person? I'm like, they got their notice Tuesday. But on the flip side, right, we're all human. So, I mean, if there's something that we missed, State Center to Liscomb is not so far that I don't mind driving up on a Wednesday night going, hey, I gotta run over and give Terry his letter. I don't mind fitting in a one-off if we need to, because our goal is that everybody gets treated fairly.
And this These tires, are they seen from the street?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I mean, I know the one you give
You're-
notice to, but I'm talking.
You're gonna have some unhappy folks, because there's some people yesterday who have been pretty adamant that you're not gonna tell me what to do with my property, and it's like, okay, you have cars in your driveway that you clearly are using as parts cars that don't have all the component parts and don't run and aren't registered. And on the other hand, I knocked on a lady's door and she goes, so I need to register that and I need to air up the tires on that car and I'm in compliance? I'm like, yep. She goes, it'll be done by Thursday. Okay. I don't know whether her husband's coming home Wednesday or whatever, but. All right, I'm gonna let you guys continue on your meeting. Thank you much. And we'll have a report for you next month.
We appreciate it.
You bet, no problem.
Motion to approve the minutes of September 8th.
Second.
Been a motion made and a second to approve the minutes of September 8th. Roll call, Craig.
Yeah.
Mike. Pam.
Yep.
Devin. Sid, yes. Motion to approve the financial report for September 2025.
I have a question. What were the receipts for Liberty and Liscomb? Why are there receipts?
We get canned money when they take in cans and bottles.
Gotcha, okay.
It was given to the city.
Make a motion?
I'll second.
Motion been made to approve the financial report for September. Those in favor, Craig?
Yeah.
Mike?
Yep.
Pam?
Yep.
Devin? Ted? Motion to pay the bills.
What was the water pump replacement? Truck?
International Water Pump.
That's fire truck.
And rescue tubes paid for.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Motion been made, seconded, to pay the bills. Those in favor of Craig?
Yeah.
Mike?
Yep.
Pam?
Yep.
Devin?
Yep.
Ted, yes. Residents' concerns. No residents' concerns?
Yeah, I have one. Interested in the lots down here that was up for sale. I don't really know what's going on. I've heard, there's a minimum bid. Can somebody fill me in on that?
Well, we advertised it.
Yeah, we advertised them by how I was told to advertise them. There was a minimum bid with, in stating what she's gonna do with the property. That was as of last month. We were talking about doing it, last month, the general consensus was to wait till December or January to do it again, because there wasn't any bids received. So,
Where were they advertised at?
in the paper,
Marshalltown?
Marshalltown and the Grundy. So, kind of need to figure out a different way. I mean, the Grundy paper I have to do legally, since it's our paper of,
Choice.
publishing. But then I threw it in the Marshalltown paper, because we're closer. But, yeah,
I just heard about it, so that's
yeah.
why I'm asking.
Why can't we put a sign in that says for sale on lots? go to the
We
city
could
hall?
do that too.
I think the bid we had on was 6, right?
The
Or
minimum
that we
bid,
wanted.
yeah, the minimum was 6.
That way people around town here can see them when they're driving around.
So if we're just wanting to do it that way, we could do it that way, but, and put a price on it.
So if there's a bid on it, how long does it take for it to be approved?
If we ask for bids, then they have to be opened. A contract then is made, the mayor can sign it, then there has to be a public hearing. I don't know. It's just all these hoops they've come up with, city's gotta go through.
It's what,
You have to have a public hearing that states we're selling it for this amount, and then it can be turned over with a quick claim.
so like 60, 90 days, that sound? From the time they're
Well, no,
open?
it'd be from 1 month to the next month, and then how quick the paperwork could be done after the public hearing. And then the approval of the council to accept that bid, the final
And the
approval.
public hearing's gotta be how many days, doesn't it? isn't
It's
it-
4 and 20,
Okay.
yeah.
it's
So it
what?
can happen the next month, so. Wheels turn slow.
Typical government.
So there would be, if it was approved, then it'd be a purchase agreement?
Right.
Okay.
Pending approval of the council, public hearing and the council approval,
I see.
yeah. That'd be all in the verbiage.
Any other citizens' concerns? Move on to old business, discussions on nuisances. I think we probably
Do you have anything
pretty well
else?
covered that. Consider tile information gathering options.
Thought I had somebody that could probably come and even just video that tile line, and it's like, no, we can't, our equipment won't go in the riser. So,
I talked to a guy over at school about tile stuff.
yeah,
Boulder, he knows a guy
no,
who's working on
never
it.
even thought about them.
Well, it's a guy that worked for Boulders that's doing it on his own now. I got a number and stuff I
Okay.
can send to if you want to get in contact.
I mean,
I'll send it to you.
okay.
Didn't our attorney tell us that we were responsible for that tile, so
Oh, did
are we still not gonna,
Well,
pretty
you
much? so,
stated, yeah, because there's no easement made for any of those tiles, so technically, but then the city has done work on it, so,
Did that set a precedent?
right. I don't know. You know, we could see if he's willing to come and price it even. You know, if it's not very much, it might be worth having it looked at and say, no, it's working the way it's supposed to work, and then it's working the way it's supposed to work, you know? And yes, you're just in a low spot, and this is what happens.
So you can give her
So I
that,
don't know.
give her that number and you can call to see. Because somebody,
Yeah.
if somebody can run a camera up through there to see what's.
I would just love to know where it's coming from, what's dumping into that tile. See if we could know, if we could.
Well, and
I don't know how
who
far
knows
they
how
can go,
far
you
up
know.
you could go, I don't know.
Well, yeah, camera work isn't
Yeah.
cheap.
No, I'm sure it's not.
So if they dug down right there close to where they did before, of course, then you're tearing up stuff that people don't like. And then run the camera up there, you could tell within, what is it, within 50 yards or whatever, probably. But
And if he could use the riser, that would be great, you know, get down into the tile and, because I was thinking that riser was tied into that line, or is it not?
the riser is the sewer, right? We have a riser?
Riser to that storm line.
It's in,
Storm canal.
Okay,
The one in Buck's yard.
right.
Yeah.
so maybe they could go through, yeah. Anyway, you could call them
Okay.
and get that number from
There ain't no trouble with the sewer line.
Okay. Discussion on City Hall remodel?
I did have Mr. Myers from Grundy Center, he came up and met with Darwin, and they went over, replacing, putting a door in the back and moving the wall. They were looking at.
Well, she ain't got no room in there after I put that door in there.
Yeah, I know. So they looked at doing that too, so I tried to get another bid from a guy, and I couldn't get anybody else.
I got my nephew, he's coming tomorrow
Oh,
or
really?
Thursday,
Because
so,
this is the
What's
one
he
bid.
does construction?
what's that?
Your nephew does construction?
Yeah,
Is there, I know.
But that's a bid that we got from Myers.
okay.
Just give her the name.
So I'll need a copy of that to know what he was actually bidding on.
And that's for what? That's, so,
What was that total bid?
that's for what?
Trying to redo some of the office.
11,785.
Putting a door in the back and
Okay.
moving the wall back so the office is bigger in there.
This isn't the bathroom and kitchen stuff that was
No.
talked about?
This is right here in
Oh,
this.
okay.
old
Okay,
city
okay.
hall.
Right here, they're gonna put a door so she could get out either way.
Right,
if
right,
need
no,
be.
no, okay.
I can make more copies, but that's all I got.
Okay, is this,
I'm hoping we get
tell
more
you
than just one bid for that.
how far or
No.
how the wall goes? or-
I don't know, where did you guys decide how far that wall to move? Did you time a place or?
I mean, I gotta know, so we're comparing apples to apples.
I said twice the size of what she's got now.
Okay. And I'm not sure.
In other words,
Can I-
almost to
can I
this
write on
door.
that?
Yeah,
Oh, hell.
I don't-
No, it's not that far.
Okay.
I don't.
It'll be to that
I'm
register.
assuming there's no electrical on that either because, you know.
Well, that's the worst part with that wall, the plug-in, the telephone, the security cameras, they're all down that wall.
Yeah, so we would, I mean, it was almost $20,000.
And then have Hawkins added as well.
And do what?
Yeah, Hawkins.
Yeah, we have to get them kind of.
Well, I guess my question is,
No,
if
we
we're
need
gonna
to-
move it,
Ted,
why don't we move it out? Because we're not gonna use that space for anything else.
You don't
Well, he
know.
said I could have that, he'll make another one.
We'll double that space,
But
there's
just
quite a
don't-
bit extra space already.
There's still enough room in there to have council chambers in there.
Oh, okay, okay,
If we move that wall.
Yeah,
okay, okay.
there's still enough room in there. Put another table like we had in there
We
before.
moved our council meeting into here, so,
yeah.
Officially.
yeah, probably won't ever go back to there. Not that you want to, if they did. Hang Labor.
So then, I know that there is some money in there for the remodel on
yeah.
How much did we have?
Well, we said
Five.
15.
Did we have 15?
Did I move
I
it?
think so.
I don't
I think I was
remember if I
looking
moved
for that.
it. When I did the
Was that
rest
a
of
loss?
it.
I see community
Was that a
building
lost
and I have
thing?
like 49.
We got it.
Different places that we have money set
I
aside
didn't,
for that.
I just, we just stated up to 15, I think, but then I didn't actually move the money.
That's out of lost, right?
It would need to come out of law.
But we have that $4,900 for the community building that
Right, we could use
part
that,
of that. Or we could use that.
because it's been sitting there for years, we just as well use it. And then add
But
into it.
it would be nice to have another bid though, instead of just one bid, that's for sure. And it probably wouldn't hurt to find out from Hawkins too about
Electrical.
the electrical, because I'm.
I think it'd be terrible, but yeah, it's.
Did Hawkins get done with the Christmas light stuff?
Waiting for Lion to hook them up.
Oh, okay.
So then
Well, I just hadn't got, I
We'll
thought
put
they
that on
started
next.
it.
We'll put that on next one.
Yeah.
And then we'll try to. Okay, now, we have the email, we have another number 5 on old business, our old city truck for sale. Oh, what do we want to? I don't know if you put
Yeah,
number
yeah,
5,
it's
yeah,
on there.
truck
Yep,
for
yep,
sale.
Yep.
I don't know what they want to do.
Right.
It's all the stuff's off of it, and you got all the stuff on the
It's
new,
all reversed, changed over,
all changed over, all done.
all changed over.
You got that plow hooked up, ready
Unions.
to
No,
plow snow?
we're not gonna put it on. We're not gonna use it this year.
I hear you.
No, we ain't.
So do we have to,
Union has this, their auction, the end of, what'd you say?
Thank
End of
you.
November. You
Let's
wanna do that,
Then we don't have to deal with
the bids and.
You guys don't have to gov deal your stuff?
No.
no.
Not necessarily.
Put it on Gov.
Gov.
There's a
Oh,
website.
State.
It's like the school stuff.
Some of the stuff, like the fire trucks, if we got them from the government, they had to go back to
Right,
the
I
government.
understand,
DNR.
I understand the DNR stuff.
But
I just
yeah,
didn't know but however you.
Municipalities.
Yes, thank you.
Some of them like to use
Where-
that, especially if they've got a lot of stuff, it's like taking it to the auction for us. It gets it, they take care of everything.
Okay, because I know we have to take all of our stuff and put it on a gov
Yeah.
deal.
I gotta go to you.
I didn't know if that was just a question I
Yeah.
had for that.
So is
so
everybody,
can I,
Yeah, I
can I do I need to make a motion to take it over to the auction?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make a motion. The old city truck.
I second that.
Oh, it's not on here.
I can have it.
I just wrote it.
Discussion on old city truck.
There's been a second motion.
Oh,
Yep.
been a motion and a second to take the old city truck to the auction in the Union. All those in favor, Craig? Mike?
Yep.
Pam?
Yep.
Devin?
Uh-huh.
Ted? Yes.
Number 1 on new business was also an old business.
Yeah, see that.
Wanted to make sure it got covered.
I guess so. Usually I'm copy and cut and paste, so I don't have that issue.
So we don't need to discuss that.
No.
We already.
Okay, we're on new business, 2025 annual financial report distributed.
You do have that in your packet, if you want to look through it, and then ask any questions. I don't know, it's a whole lot of lines. So. The front sheet has the basic, condensed version, so. And then more than I budgeted for, which is kind of weird because that's their numbers. So,
Like if you, okay, just say the tax levy property, you budgeted for 88,692.
and we got 94,
Okay, so then,
So we say thank you.
I guess.
so we get, okay.
So I don't know if some of that was somebody's catching up. Yeah, I don't know, because that actual number comes from, it's hard fill.
Okay, so the extra money, does that go in the general fund or does that stay with?
Depends on, it could have been insurance, here's the insurance, the employee benefits, and the general. All 3 of those are just lump sum into taxes, so some of it went into insurance and the other.
So, yeah, the majority of them are, got, like for, in governmental, we got, they give us 57,000 and we budgeted 44.
Right.
That's, that's 13,000.
That's a chunk, yeah.
And overall, we ended up with a lot more.
61,000 more than what we, yeah,
Yeah,
that's a chunk.
Yeah,
so,
Good, good.
you know, we didn't spend as much on public works and stuff is what I budgeted, so I kinda like to budget low on income and high on expenses, so we're not stuck at the end of the year going, oh,
Yeah. Well, and our expenditures is, yeah,
so.
good. Good, good.
So that's all said and done, then is some of that could be put in the road use tax.
This one.
I didn't see that one. Was that one got at you?
Well, that's what we, yeah, all those numbers are included on here that we,
Okay,
yeah,
I mean, that's,
yeah. The intergovernment one would have been like last month.
You mean the fund?
Yeah,
you know, I mean, just the ones I listed, there's, 20-some thousand.
right.
Oh, you put in the roads.
And we did, we put in 20,
Yeah,
yeah.
Just did it every
We did
part.
that already.
yeah, I know, but I mean,
Yeah.
if this comes out at the end, and we have extra, we could actually put it
Yeah.
in there.
It's always good.
Because roads are not very
Yeah,
expensive.
they're just gonna keep getting more expensive.
Discussion on alley vacating.
This is something that came up last month. I don't know if you even wanna do it, not do it. I talked to the attorney. Most of that was in the document I gave you. They had set up with another town when they was getting rid of their alleys. The town decided how much they wanted for half of the alley that went with the property adjoining it. Because they split it right down the middle. And then the attorney's fee for each of those halves was $800. So if you owned the property from one road to the next road, the attorney's fees would be $1,600. The town could decide, this town, for instance, said, we want $500 for that half an alley. You could state, we want $1, you could state, we wanted $1,000 for half of the alley if you wanted to sell it.
Well, and it on depends, I mean, like, some have 4 properties on them.
I'll
Oh,
get
you're
to
getting to that, okay, sorry.
that. But then, and then the recording fee is $30 on top of that. All of that expense then would be paid by those property owners to get that half of an alley. You'd want both halves to be sold. Then the next question would be, like, to sell the alley, not that we would sell the one that's behind the building. You'd want to be very careful of doing those, because this one has how many property owners on it that someday down the line might want an alley access. Or like the small lot, it's actually broke down into lots, even though Blake has bought the whole thing. You wouldn't necessarily want to sell that alley because it could still be broken down into 3 chunks. And then the guy in the middle wouldn't have access to use the back of his property by an alley.
So,
Does
so
it
The
like,
ones that would be most beneficial are the ones that are, the railroad runs down their backyard. Because to go down that alley, where are you gonna go? You're gonna hit the railroad beds, which the city of Marshalltown currently owns. So you kinda have to just pick and choose which ones would be beneficial to do and which ones wouldn't.
Do we
Like this
have-
one back here, you wouldn't wanna do.
Do we have,
Edgewood would do.
what am I thinking, telephone or anything?
Fiber optic goes down the alley.
So can we?
See, I don't know
Water
what
and sewer
those
goes down
easements.
some alleys.
Right, and the sewer lines. So that would be included, there'd have to be easements. And I don't know if there currently is easements with the city of Liscomb. I don't have abstracts to go with every alley or the streets.
So once you vacate an alley.
It's
They
gone.
can go back and they can decide they want to use it. If they sell it, somebody can say, I want an alley, even if it's been vacated.
They'd have to go after the property owner, I would think.
Yes,
Once it's
You know.
vacated, the property owner owns it.
it would be gone.
It removes the doubt, the ambiguity that is inherent to our system here.
So we did.
Once it's gone, it's
We
gone.
did vacate for the co-op, because obviously, once they set up their bins and all of that equipment, very rarely was anybody gonna come in and buy those.
So you would have to, nobody could build on there then, or anything, if we have sewer or utilities running down there?
Well, it would have to be,
Movable, something.
One call.
well, it'd have to be one called so they knew where it was.
I don't think we'd be in favor of selling anything, we got something running down.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah,
If
I
there's
mean, it
something.
don't make much sense to me.
So hypothetically, you have nothing running down an alleyway though, right? You need both sides to agree to sell? Or can they just buy this half? Or could they buy the whole thing if Mike doesn't want his half? Not that you have one, I don't think.
that wasn't a question I thought to ask him.
Like, you know, if I want the whole thing and Mike doesn't want to buy any of his, can I just buy the whole thing?
I didn't think to ask him. And would he charge, because he did state they would have to spend, the attorney's fees would be doubled. So,
Like that.
yeah, it would be doubled, because then he would tie it to, I'm just gonna use Manships for instance, because he's got that whole half a block. He'd have to pay the attorney's fees twice, because he'd tie the south half to the south lot, and the north half to the north lots.
What if he just makes it all one?
If, I don't
That's
know.
something the attorney would have to just.
And then, what did you say about, okay, like so there would be 1, 2, 3 people involved with that block. But then you go to this block down here, there would be 4 properties.
Right.
So would they each get that $500 plus the 800, you see what I mean? Because you're,
If the attorney work on, no matter how long it is, would be $800.
So like for Matthews, for that whole block would be $800. But see, we don't really
No.
wanna sell that, cause
No,
we got light poles, we got, the light
Well, and
poles run down through there
and then
too.
that would,
I just think it's, I don't-
if Melinda wanted to use the alley and build a garage that the door is on the south side, well, then she wouldn't be able to, because the
She
alley
wouldn't
was
have
gone.
access.
Well, I think
She
that's why
wouldn't
you
have
have to have
access.
both sides agree to it.
Right.
Yeah.
So
What
then-
happens if
when they,
think it
if they
sounds
should
like
sell
a-
it.
Well, then it's just what it is though,
Right.
you bought your lot the way it was, so it wouldn't really be any different at that point.
So anyway. But
So
then
somebody
there-
could buy an alley coming off the street.
No, the ones that
And
aren't
there's-
being used is
and
what.
there's
It'd
4
be the
houses?
ones, it would be the one behind your house.
Well, no, I'm just,
Yeah,
Yeah.
just so I understand.
Buck has where his house is, and then he has where his Morton building is.
Right.
There's an alley through there.
So you're not vacating alleys that
No.
have 4 houses that have access to that alley?
No, and we're not, I mean, you're
No.
talking about selling, somebody could go in and buy an alley other
I
than
think
you.
it's a
I
good
mean, if
idea
you
not
live
to
in the night.
vacate it.
Is that what you're talking about?
I agree.
Well, okay, let's just take the alley that goes behind my place. You wanna vacate, just hypothetically say, you wanna vacate that
It's gonna
alley.
end up and being a headache. and-
You'd buy half, and the front would buy half.
well,
Oh,
and
road over there, I wanna
But,
agree to
okay, so the
buy-
guy on either side of me
end signs on
will no longer have access to their
it's just,
backyard.
They'd have
it's
to
just
agree
when
to
people
that.
start
I mean,
building on those alleys.
So
They'd have
if
to
one
get it.
person
I know they have, we
That
just
makes
need to make
sense.
sure that doesn't happen.
So why can't
That
we put
would
out there, like,
understand.
maybe if you're interested in vacating yours, if it's not being used at all, we don't wanna look at that either, like Bucks, for example.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, his new property,
No, I don't mean that one though.
yeah,
Is that
her
out?
boxes and Healy's and, anybody on the west side of East Street, those are not gonna go anywhere.
So is there actually like located an alley through the new property he has?
Yes, they
Two
are
alleys.
platted.
There's 2 alleys and a
And
street
a
going through that
street.
new property.
2 alleys and then the street on the north side.
Then there's one
There's 2
just
alleys.
north of, what's their
There's 2
name?
streets.
Alicia.
When they're,
Labelles.
when they're
Labelles.
where she
Yeah,
did
Yeah, there's
well, he'd
there's
have to
2
put
alleys in the
the
street there,
rental
too.
properties there.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the street there.
Then way up
There's
there, Healy.
actually supposedly, the old street that I used to take to the
He's got a street on the other side of it.
is full of trees right now.
Yeah, so, I don't know. Something
Like,
you
doesn't
want.
every alley in town continue on to that road?
I mean, those actually could be, wouldn't be much problem there because like it'd have to do both sides of each one in that new property.
And maybe he doesn't,
And we don't, you know, that's
right,
been a fence there in the pasture ever since I can remember as a kid.
That tile wouldn't be involved with that, would it?
Yeah, tile run right down through it.
so there'd be an easement that would need to be done,
I think
so.
it's the town, maybe the best interest, not it's gonna cost you more attorney fees. I don't,
Well,
The downside to that, you guys, is that the city maintains ownership of those right-of-ways. So if there's a tree, the city is responsible for it. So that's an expense, that's an expense that the city has to be willing to take. The other issue is, just like you guys talked about, what about the next owner, or what about the current owners? Now all of a sudden they want to use that. Well, they can, but in the case of, for example, Buck's yard, just to use his as an example, I want to drive up that alley from the south side there, from Buck's side. What says that I can't? Absolutely nothing. It's a city right away. I got my right. I can take my four-wheeler and dig a furrow through there.
I think there might be a fence on East Street, isn't there?
Well, you can bust through that fence.
I wouldn't be dumb enough to try it, I'll tell you.
That's where the mosquito guy, the bug guy goes down that alley, doesn't he, Darwin?
He went down the mall.
Yeah, yeah.
So anyway,
So what about the ones that are already built on that are just grass?
Ooh, good question.
ones that have trees and stuff.
And there's some with garages already out on them.
there's the pool.
So,
Should have never been built there.
well, they shouldn't have been, but they're there.
You know what? We got buildings in the alley right now.
What?
We got buildings in the alley right now that's been put up since 1900.
We keep a bulldozer busy for about a month or so.
Well, I asked Christy about this the other day, and I always looked at Beacon, and she said Beacon is not correct.
Well, it can be off some,
So,
It's got an error rate.
yeah.
so Darwin, you're gonna be busy trying to figure out where all these properties are.
There's some of them got lots of
Well, they're up,
deals.
so you ain't gonna do nothing about it.
Well, there's a prime example, our city shed, our old city shed. That shows it's in the street.
Oh, yeah.
They've already.
County shed too.
I think we'll see.
Okay,
I think it'll be-
Okay.
we better, yeah.
All right, set trick or treat date. Didn't we already kind of
We
do that?
did that by kind of email, but then this way it's official, if somebody wants to motion for it to be the 31st, 5 to 7.
Right.
Yeah.
A second.
Motion been made for to set the trick or treat date for October 31st from 5 to 7. Those in favor, Craig? Mike? Pam?
Yep.
Devin? Ted? Yes. Consider designation of the county register as official newspaper.
I make a motion.
Do we
Do we
or
have-
try TR?
Yeah, let's.
I don't know who reads what, or if anybody reads any of it.
Grundy register is
Well, let's
just cheaper, right?
I thought
It
Grundy was
is,
cheaper. yeah.
it is, because it's a once a week paper, but it doesn't cost us any different, because the state government dictates what newspapers can charge us.
Oh, so they're the same?
They're supposed to be the same.
I thought we talked about this once and Grundy was cheaper for us, but okay.
Yeah.
Well, how
It's
many
cheaper
people
for
get
people to
Grundy?
buy.
See, I guess,
If you got a school kid,
Yes, how many people get the Grundy Center paper?
you do? You get the Grundy Center paper? Oh, well, my only problem is the TR, I can look at it on the computer. The Grundy Center, I can't get it.
I look at the.
But I don't have a
Grundy all the
computer.
time.
Are you subscribed to it?
No. I
You
look at
get
the
the
legals in
legals?
Grundy every single time they're published.
Okay.
I'm just saying I do, it's because I have a notification set up, so it tells me when it happens.
Okay.
I don't know, I don't have any.
I mean, if the cost is, I always thought the cost,
Can we get
It's
To
cheaper
buy.
for you guys to buy it, but yeah, for us it doesn't.
yeah.
The state dictates how much newspapers can charge, because once you designate one, well, you can have it at 10 cents a square inch, and then you get the bill, and, oh, well, we've raised our rates, it's now $20 per square inch, they can't do that, so, which is nice.
So I don't know if we have, I don't know how many people get the Marshalltown paper either, we don't even take it.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Bonnie reads it online.
They still print?
Yeah,
I know.
they do. Just once in a while, I will say, oh, it didn't come today. So, well, you made the motion for Grundy. Somebody want a second?
Motion been made, second to designate the Grundy Register as official newspaper for Liscomb. Those in favor, Craig?
Yeah.
Mike?
Yep.
Pam?
No.
Devin?
Yep.
Ted? Yes.
Where you want to go?
Oh, just, I don't know.
Do you get the Marshalltown paper?
No, but I look at it on the computer.
All right, consider stump removal and reimbursement. I don't know what that's all about.
Manship, yeah, had a stump removed when he had the stump removed from his big tree. It was in actually the right of way, I guess. I don't know.
On the corner down there, that fire hydrant.
Didn't
He said,
we change an ordinance that said they had?
no, we didn't change any ordinances. It's $75. He was like, well, if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I
You
don't.
paid John Fry to have that tree taken down, we didn't change a thing.
Hey.
I thought didn't we put out in the newsletter that if there's any trees questionable, that they would be the town needs to take care of them?
So I don't know, was that
I'm pretty
tree
sure they
actually
did
dead?
that.
Yeah, they were dead when he cut it down.
And it's $75?
Yeah.
There's another precedence.
Well, then
You need to
Are
put
we
something,
starting?
change,
We need to
something.
change the
We didn't pay for John.
Okay.
So can we put that on next week, look at
Yeah.
tree ordinance?
Yeah, I think, if we have something about that, if they want to tree
We
that
talked
down.
about it, but evidently we didn't go through that.
Okay, we're good.
Okay, so somebody wanna we need a motion to pay
Yeah.
that?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Motion made, consider stump removal, seconded, for reimbursement, $75. Craig?
Yeah.
Mike?
Yep.
Pam?
Yeah.
Devin?
Yep.
Ted, yes. Committee reports. Ben's not here, fire department is, Ed, you got anything on the fire department? I think the soup supper went pretty well.
The soup supper did go really
Do
well.
we know how much?
2,800, well, 26 after expenses.
Wow.
There's still, I got 200 in my pocket right now.
And I got another couple checks I gotta total up. We'll definitely break $3,000.
Good, good.
Still kind of,
It's not as
it's not as good. It's a little less than half of last year. I honestly take it as a personal failure. It went really, the actual event itself was spectacular. It was full, it instantly, as soon as it started, it stayed full the whole time. Everybody had a blast. There was no incidents or anything like that. The number itself, because last year.
Everybody was out in the field.
Right, well, and it's rough times now anyway, for everybody, and we haven't gotten our total yet. A lot of checks come in later, but where we are right now, next year we're gonna do a few things differently.
I would like to volunteer for next year.
Okay.
When you're going to do this,
Yeah,
I would like to volunteer to be in charge of desserts.
absolutely. We will take,
didn't have any of that.
yeah, no, we will
Yeah,
take,
and I have a lot of people that said they were disappointed and they would have been
I-
more than happy.
as soon
to
as
make something.
I didn't realize that ball had been dropped, all of us we started late this year, and we were just kind of behind the whole time. It's not an excuse, it's just, next year we're gonna do things a little
But
differently.
yeah, let me know like a month ahead of time and I'll get
Absolutely,
on.
absolutely.
We'll get desserts
Just
for you.
knowing that we have that is fantastic. But yeah, it went great. We got a meeting tomorrow to discuss, purchases for our new air packs. We got our grants, came through to get our new air packs. And so we gotta that's a big thing that we have to, coordinate with other departments because we want stuff that is interchangeable with theirs, and the more we can group purchases together, often the better deals we can get and the further our money will go. And so there's gonna be some hemming and hawing about that, and then, update next month on the total monies we'll owe on air packs and everything, so. And then, we also had, another concern as
Yeah,
well.
I got two comments, just to add to this. We did get new Green Bend rescue equipment.
Oh, yes.
We got, they're aluminum, we got two sets. So you can put two sets to make one big one, or you could use one set to put around the patient and use the other set to block rain from coming down on other rescuers.
They're way more interchangeable,
Yeah.
versatile, you can make
And
walls, you can make.
We could use them with Albions, they got the same one, so.
Good.
So technically, between the two departments, we got 4 sets of,
And then each set is five?
each
Five
set
chutes.
is
Five chutes
five
that
chutes.
fit together, and you only need 4 to make a circle. And then the circles can be almost as big as you want, you can make walls with them, horseshoes, S-curves, walk on them. So, every 5 has a ladder inside of it, so you can, it's like, they're super cool. I nerded out on them for a minute.
Good.
But the other deal I'm gonna bring up is we have an 18-year-old that's on our fire department. I was told that he cannot drive a fire truck because he's 18 years old. The city hired a 16-year-old to mow.
He can't drive the city truck.
Okay, that's fine. I talked to 2 other volunteer departments that we mutual aid with. And they could have 18-year-olds that can drive a fire truck. Maybe not the tanker or the pumper, but either one of those grass trucks.
It's the insurance.
It's
don't
the
it?
insurance.
What, okay,
No, it ain't the insurance.
It's the insurance.
it's the underwriter.
I mean, it is the insurance?
It's the
So,
insurance that is stating that.
Why can't you look into other insurance companies?
Because
You can
there's only 2. Now, my question is for those other 2 departments, did they turn in the driver's licenses like you're supposed to?
I'm sure they did,
So
because
they
one of them,
know. I'm
the
just
chief of
asking
one
these
department
questions.
is
But I
a
don't
professional
know.
fireman.
But I don't know if they have their own personal insurance that's not tied with the city, which I don't know if they can do it. I have no idea. All I know is our insurance company has stated, and it's not our agent, it's the company we go
We
through.
insure, that insures us.
I've-
Can we get something sent to the fire department that says this?
I've never heard
got
of
a
such
letter.
a thing. It's
This is the
mind-boggling.
first, this is the
If
first
you guys knew about it,
18-year-old I've had.
then why do we have 18-year-olds on the department that
I
can't do?
didn't know about it
She
until
said-
I sent in his driver's license.
She said this is the first 18-year-old we've ever had on.
And then you guys wonder why we don't get volunteers. But yet we could have people on our department, or previous people on our department, that can have an OWI and still drive a damn fire truck?
Sometimes they check those once a year. We have had people that's been on provisional. We have had people that they couldn't drive because they've had too many OWIs. They just for the first one. That's been a
Well,
really
then
long time
here's my
ago.
suggestion. I suggest finding another carrier, or you'll be losing quite a few firemen off this department.
There's only 2 carriers for city insurance in the state of
And
Iowa.
check into it.
And they
Otherwise,
run
you're
the
gonna lose
same.
somebody that's got 21 years of experience.
I don't know what to
And
tell you, Lance.
there's only 2 people on this department that know how to run that fucking truck. Now, how are you gonna tell your citizens,
What kind of truck was that? We don't talk like that in here.
anyway,
Anyway, what I'm trying to tell you guys is the fire department changed their bylaws and it said they had to be, 25 years old to drive the truck.
that's not in our bylaws.
It's in our bylaws and the fire department, I think.
No, it's not.
Did you look?
I looked.
Is there a,
There's no
Because back when
25-year-old
we
to
had
drive a fire truck.
When we had a young fellow in there, we did not want him running the truck, and I know we changed the bylaws.
And why don't you want them running a truck, Ted?
Well,
It's a
you
lot
did
of
not want this guy to
responsibility.
drive it. I'm not saying your son shouldn't drive a truck. I'm not the one that said that. But we made the bylaws back then so this person could not drive.
I don't think it's in our bylaws.
is there a
think
way
it
we
is.
can get
I
a
think we
copy
changed.
of the insurance policy, like the
But if
actual?
it's an insurance thing,
I
we have
can
no
give you the-
control over
You
it.
could look for another
Document
insurance
me.
company.
She said there's 2 of them in Iowa that cover town.
So can they do everything else but drive the truck?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
But,
Are
okay,
they able
so
to do
let me
everything?
ask
They
you
can do
this.
everything else.
I'm not trying to argue.
Let me ask
I'm
you
just
this.
asking.
You got a guy coming from Marshalltown, right? Okay,
Hypothetically, you mean?
there's times where I'll come from
Oh,
Marshalltown.
okay. I got
Oh,
I got
you mean
Okay.
somebody on the
Okay.
department?
On the department,
Okay.
coming from Marshalltown.
Okay,
And let's just say, we all know it's my kid, but that's besides the point. I'd fight it even if it wasn't. So, I passed the fire, right? And he's at home. He could be bringing that truck and my gear
but if. the
before it
ins-
gets way the hell out of control.
But if the insurance won't insure.
I
them,
understand that, but I'm saying, there's 2 other departments
Well, that's,
that, if you're saying there's only 2 insurance companies statewide,
yes.
For the city to insure this fire department, they're using the city's insurance. They must have their own private insurance that they're funding, and that they're covering theirs with this month.
I mean, I guess if you guys aren't willing to look into it,
What are these other
I didn't
departments?
say we weren't gonna look
Look
into
Who are
it.
the
who are
companies
these
that
other
we can
departments?
use.
Albion and Green Mountain.
What was the first one?
State Senate.
And I think, I don't know, those are the only 2 I checked with. I didn't check with Union. And I guess I could talk to Jordan, see what Conrad,
Greenwood.
but
Union has the same
One of the
company.
reasons this person, we didn't allow him to drive was, we was at a fire, he come from another direction, and he was in the ditch about 2 miles away.
and how old was
Going
he?
way too
18?
fast. And I don't know if that was when we decided on changing our bylaws or not.
I'm just saying.
I'm not saying our bylaws can't be changed back, but if our insurance company won't insure it, then I'm betting you it's whatever.
But I don't think there's anything in our bylaws that say 21, 25,
I think
whatever.
25, I think we made it 25.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, that's
Well,
not part of, we can't
at the
control the
time it was
insurance, whatever
ridiculous.
insurance we get, I mean, that's the sad, they have so much control over how they.
Right.
But she
But
can
then-
check. She'll
but
check
then-
with Albion and
She'll
Green
check
Mountain and
Okay,
find out.
but, okay, so an 18-year-old cannot drive a fire truck, but you could take somebody that don't have a CDL and throw them in a truck that's got air brakes and carrying over 100 gallons of water without having a CDL and a tanker's endorsement?
They can drive it there, but
They can't drive it
home.
back.
I know, we've had this discussion,
I wonder how that
and
works.
I don't
It's-
understand
It's
that.
asinine.
It is.
See, it's the insurance I mean.
That's an
we're-
exception in the state code.
Yeah, they,
State
Which I
code.
don't
so they can
understand.
drive that one to the fire, But
And
once the
there's,
fire is
that's,
done,
and honestly, that's an interpretation.
and they have to.
That's somebody's interpretation, because what the state code says is that you need a CDL to drive a truck with air brakes, except emergency vehicles in operation.
Yeah, no.
Now, you
So
can
where's the
tell,
exception
you can,
for,
I could argue that driving that truck back from that fire, is that not part of the fire
Part of the
operation?
operation.
But, once again, that's an interpretation. We're just trying to, trying to stay between the lines. Yeah, this age thing, anything that says a guy can't, be on the fire department because of A, B, C, or D. I mean, how many guys answer a fire call now?
you're lucky to have 2.
There you go. And if
You're
one of
lucky to have
them
two.
is 18, then all of a sudden, you're,
Oh shit, Johnny Depp's fucking house is catching on fire and
well, that's,
But what do we do if the insurance company won't let them in?
well,
I'll check into it.
She's gonna find out how they can get.
I mean, it's just,
it's a rock and a hard place.
Yeah. We'll check into it.
if my house was on fire and there's only an 18-year-old to come start putting water on the damn thing,
The whole thing that it seems weird is, so what we're confused about is it doesn't seem to be in the policy. We couldn't find it in any policy information we had. And it seemed like it was just the underwriter themselves being either overly cautious or not having the correct information. If there was a way we could get the actual policy itself and see if maybe there was something about that. But the argument was an 18-year-old isn't gonna have the emotional maturity to handle this.
That's
Or the
what-
experience.
Or these, right, and I would argue, okay, that's what the training is for, because we're not even arguing regular operation, we're not even arguing for the big truck. All we're asking for is the grass rig in training. How else does he gain the experience? How else does he
so
gain?
the 21-year-olds
And
still don't have the experience.
I would
Unfortunately,
argue as well, hold on.
You guys are
just-
preaching to the choir.
I would also argue as well,
Should be up at
the
the State
simple
House.
fact
I
of
think we'll
him
look into it,
being
so we're gonna
volunteering
move
on
on.
the department speaks
First
to his
responders.
level of maturity. There, I've finished, you can interrupt.
Streets and alleys, I think we kind of discussed them, but Pam and Greg.
I ain't looked at them.
No look down.
Parks,
Must be a
Devin. Trees look good up there. That's what you said last time too. You do. General utilities,
We've got one really big water bill, we'll see what happens with it.
Mine's gone. It might be because of the regulation.
sanitation, we got, August water usage total 307,000 gallons, average 10,000 gallons per day, what we always do. August water flows total 2,664,000 gallons, average of 85 gallons per day, 85,000 gallons per day. Recorded 6 inches of rain in August. Public safety. Community building.
I just got a question, can I ask, can we get a plate for the bottom of that door?
Yeah, you just got one there.
Oh.
Hold on there, can't you see?
They're clear.
Oh, they're clear?
Yeah.
It's white.
All I can see is the black on the door. Okay.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's on there, it's supposed to be more on there.
Okay.
I don't have a mayor's report. Motion to adjourn.
I have one thing that I would just like to put out there on this odor thing, because we can't measure the odor, we can't control the odor, and quite honestly, that ordinance is one of those feel-good ordinances. Can't enforce it, but it makes us feel good, all right? What about going upstream of that? In other words, maybe look at some ordinances that will mitigate, limit, prevent operations that typically lead to smelly things. For example, livestock. For example, an ordinance that requires every inhabited facility have sewer and pay for sewer connection. That might help. Or anything like that.
Well, I think
I'm out of
the issue
ideas,
he has
quite
there is
honestly.
animals.
What's that?
Is animals in the house, isn't that the?
Why do you think some cities limit you to the number of dogs and cats? You know, part of
And
it's a
who's gonna
control
enforce
thing.
that if you can't walk in the door?
That's just it, you can't get
Hey,
in the house.
no, if they have a bunch of cats, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. That would
They
be
had their
another
dogs
concern.
inside for 5 straight days. Where do you think they crapped?
That would be, hey,
So you're not
Well,
gonna
that's
prove that they have a
It's
bunch
not
of
a
dogs?
city problem if the dogs are crapping in the house.
No, I know, that's not my point though. My point is it's hard to still enforce an
it
animal
is.
limit.
It is.
in that
And
situation.
if anything, if you could fix this easily, it would have already been done.
I'm just beyond pissed off at this point, so.
It's no different than Swiss and Marshalltown stinking up a good town.
Yeah, we have Jake break, but.
Thank you.
Well, they drink right around the corner all day long.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can enforce.
Yeah.
3 o'clock in the morning.
Bottom line is anything that you guys, excuse me, us guys, aren't willing to enforce
I can hear it coming from.
is a feel-good ordinance.
I agree.
If you're not willing to enforce it, then you can tell me all day long that I'm doing something illegal, and unless somebody makes me quite honestly pay for it, one way or the other.
And even then, if I'm willing to pay for it, I can still do it.
There you go.
So, I have a question, I guess this would have been a question for the officer. How come a smell and odor, the human perception of a smell can be used as probable cause to enter somebody's domicile or car or home or whatever? If it's if it's a particular odor, but it can't be used to enter in this instance.
Sorry about that.
Right, I mean, that's based on the human perception of an odor.
I got a first and a second, I need a second.
Just a second.
Mike, all those in favor?
Sometimes I've got my car shaking.
You're asking for logic, and